Happening now, a 50-year-old man is behind bars following a high-speed chase overnight in Chautauqua County. The details next. Plus, efforts to honor a fallen war hero is coming closer to becoming reality.
Well, if you like the summer air, we've got some coming in for the weekend and next week. We'll talk about how warm it will get next as the News at Noon starts now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
A 50-year-old man is behind bars following a police pursuit that started in Pennsylvania and then ended in Chautauqua County last night. Thank you for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office says that Scott Finch of Meadville, PA, fled law enforcement around 7:16 in the evening. The man's suspected vehicle, deputies say, was later spotted in the town of Westfield. When deputies attempted to pull him over, they say he fled and a pursuit ensued that continued through multiple towns, eventually coming to an end following a crash in the village of Fredonia. Finch then allegedly took off on foot into a nearby creek bed. He was eventually caught and taken into custody. He faces over a dozen of charges, including unlawfully fleeing a police officer and DWAI drugs. There were no injuries as a result of that crash. Well, Chautauqua County's executive met with area business leaders this morning discussing everything from vaccinations, legalization of marijuana, and the hope for the future. As WNY News Now's Jason Ruttman reports, Executive P.J. Wendell joined President and CEO of the Chautauqua County Chamber of Commerce, Todd Tradham, in their virtual county executive breakfast.
COVID-19 vaccinations and the goal of reaching herd immunity are among Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell's top priorities and a big piece of the discussion. Wendell says it's crucial to make sure that people who had received their vaccines outside of the county still send their vaccination records in so that county health leaders can get an accurate count.
Many residents in Chautauqua County have a primary physician in Pennsylvania. So we have created a porthole or an email account that those individuals could give us the information of their vaccine. That way we can get them logged into the Excelsior Pass program.
There was also a question sent in about the legalization of marijuana in Chautauqua County. Wendell responded by noting the risks associated with it.
There's issues with operating motor vehicles. If you get a DWI, you get pulled over, they can give you a quantitative test. They can test the amount of alcohol in your blood. A 0.08 is the legal limit. What would the legal limit be of marijuana? They don't have a quantitative test you can do in the field right now. There are dispensaries that are out and marijuana goes out the front door. Well, how much marijuana is being sold on the black market and on the back door? How do we determine whether somebody has purchased from a dispensary or not? You know, if you put it into a pill container with a tax stamp on it, great. You could get it anywhere else and put it in that container.
However, the executive didn't rule out legalizing marijuana in the future.
As much as people are saying it's an opportunity for growth, there is. We need to look at those opportunities.
Wendell finished the meeting with optimism, looking to rebuild the economy following the pandemic.
We have weathered the storm of COVID-19. We're starting to come out and we are moving forward in a very progressive manner. You know, what is really happening right now and what we have to get past are the divides that, pop up day in and day out here in Chautauqua County. We are the best men and women to sell Chautauqua County. If somebody comes into this area and you tell them about, all the negative things that are happening, not too alluring. But if you go out and show them all the great things Chautauqua County has to offer, all the opportunities, that's what's going to sell this community.
Jason Ruttman, WNY News Now.
Jason, thank you. In total, Wendell spent about an hour engaging with those from the business community. Well, a Randolph Highway bridge could soon be named in memory of a fallen American hero killed in the Vietnam War. New York State Senator George Borrello is working with Assemblyman Joe Giglio to rename the Interstate 86 bridge that crosses West Main Street in Randolph after Corporal William James Hillard. Legislation marking the designation passed both houses of the legislature and now is awaiting Governor Andrew Cuomo's signature. Corporal Hillard, who was born in Kennedy and grew up in Randolph, was killed in action in Vietnam on March 15, 1969, just 15 days ahead of his 21st birthday. Senator Borrello hopes the dedication will stand as a testament to Corporal Hillard's commitment to the nation.
He volunteered, was not drafted, and ended up first going into the Peace Corps, and then he went to Vietnam. Again, a volunteer during a time when we still had the draft. He served in the Peace Corps and then gave his life at the age of just 5 days shy of his 21st birthday. Gave his life and left behind a wife and a young family.
During his military service, Corporal Hillard received a Purple Heart among several other honors. Borrello is also pushing a similar legislation to rename the I-86 bridge over Schoolhouse Road in honor of another American hero from the area as well. It seems like almost everyone goes nuts for donuts, especially on National Donut Day. First celebrated back in 1938, Donut Day was organized by the Salvation Army to commemorate the volunteers who traveled overseas during World War I to provide support for the troops, sometimes in the form of a sugary, doughy treat. According to the group, these donut lassies, as they became known, would also fry up donuts on the front lines, which in turn helped to popularize the treat among returning GIs. Well, today, National Donut Day is celebrated every year on the first Friday in June, often by devouring as many free donuts as possible. But as history has shown, donuts offer more than just jelly filling and empty calories. The donut has had a long and sometimes strange history in the U.S. too. Well, local favorite Tim Hortons is among many area shops offering deals today. In fact, they're running a special to make every day Donut Day through June 15th. That coffee and bake shop selling donuts for 50 cents with a purchase of 50 cents or more. They look good, don't they? I love Timbits. I don't know about you guys. Let us know what you think about these stories and more in the comments down below. Good to see Pam. Good to see Peter, Christian, Gary, and Ron as well. Hopefully you all are having a great day out there. Dakota, I see you're sporting a little bit of Tim Horton fun in the newsroom.
Got them right here,
morning.
folks.
They look
How many
good.
are left? The newsroom's been picking at these all day.
We had like a dozen.
There's still quite a few in there.
Yeah, there is. I'm actually kind of surprised
Here you
about
go,
that.
folks.
Yeah, come on
It's
down.
Grab-A-Vision.
21 East 3rd Street. We'll give you a donut if we have any left after the lunch
Yeah, I know,
rush.
because the newsroom's been at these all day long, and the weather staff has been at these, so
I think
know.
I've had 2 or 3 already.
Yeah, I know.
Once a year, right? It's donut day.
Well, I mean, it's good for me because I didn't eat any dinner last night, so
Right.
that was my sort of dinner/breakfast. Was
Yeah.
a couple of Timmy Ho's.
Dakota's one of those guys that doesn't eat breakfast. You just get right to work.
That's right.
You're just
because
like,
I don't
boom.
have time.
No.
No, because I don't have time to eat breakfast because I'm one of these people that likes to sleep until the very last minute. So it's like I'm up and out of here by the time we go to 9:30. I'm usually here by then. So, hey, that was the camera from the Mill Creek Mall in Erie. So if you're going out to Erie, a nice day for that. And we had some nice rain last night as well. Over 1.5 inches in Olean, almost a full inch in Salamanca, Sinclairville, half an inch, Faulkner, a little more than a half an inch, Jamestown close to a half inch worth of rainfall, and Mayville at a little more than a quarter of an inch. So it was nice rain that we had last night, and we're going to have a little bit more today. Not guaranteed, but there is going to be a couple scattered showers possibly around. But so far, nothing showing up on the satellite and radar composite, but we do have some clouds moving in, and there will be a couple showers, maybe an isolated thunder shower at times. We only managed 66 as the high yesterday. We started the day at 61. Temperatures really didn't fluctuate too much, and 94 on this day in 1934. I talked about it yesterday, how the 1930s was a very warm period across the entire globe, and 29 was the record low in 1986. So through the afternoon, partly sunny, scattered showers, maybe a couple rumbles of thunder later in the day. Toward the evening hours, a tiny bit humid, 73 to 80 with a west wind. That west wind will keep the Lake Erie shoreline cooler. Now, we had a wonderful rainbow last night. We had about a gazillion pictures that came in of that. We'll show you some of them. Plus, how warm it will be getting over the 7-day forecast coming up in just a few.
Yeah, I loved those shots. Definitely worth sticking around, folks.
And I'm going to have a donut.
Yeah. Go for it. Go for it.
Well, I haven't ate my lunch yet, so I don't want to spoil it.
No.
So
My
I'll just set them down here, out of sight, out of mind. Back to you.
All right, thank you. Well, residents in northern Chautauqua County are planning to protest against the frack out from drilling related to the Casadega Wind Project. Community members are slated to gather starting about 10 in the morning tomorrow along Farrington Hollow Road near Plank Road in Cherry Creek. Calls for concern started after a drilling incident that caused a heavy flow of mud in the area. The State Department of Environmental Conservation says a frack out can happen following a digging process known as boring, when drilling fluids are released on the surface. The DEC says the mud could impact some fish if released into an area waterway. However, officials say that the drilling mud is non-toxic or hazardous to the environment in general. Well, that's not sitting well with many who live nearby. They tell us the incident is concerning because of its proximity to a wetland area. In total, 48 turbines are part of that Casadega Wind Project that spans from the town of Cherry Creek to Charlotte. Well, New York State's legislative session is coming to an end, and now the clock ticking for lawmakers to get their bills passed before time runs out. New York State Capitol correspondent Karina Capabianca is breaking down what's on tap before that session comes to a close.
Most of the big ticket items like recreational marijuana and mobile sports betting got taken care of earlier in the legislative session. But issues like parole reform, gun control, and extending to-go cocktails are still being worked on.
We've been working with the sponsor to at least extend it for 1 year. And we're really trying to fine-tune that to make sure it's focusing on to-go cocktails. Cocktails made by a bartender, put into a plastic container with a lid, not to be drank on the way home, but to have something when they get home with the meal that they purchased to enjoy that beverage.
The bill has faced some opposition from liquor stores. The Senate passed several gun control measures this week, like making it easier to sue gun makers. Democrat Assemblyman John McDonald says he wouldn't be surprised if some package of gun control legislation comes out of the Assembly, but for now, it's up in the air.
We haven't discussed anything as of recently this week, so I think that remains to be seen where we're going to go on that.
Republicans like Assemblyman Robert Smullen have opposed the package of bills the Senate passed.
They're specifically designed to be anti-gun, and there's also some anti-hunting bills out there as well.
Other bills that have been brought up include parole reforms and clean slate legislation to seal records for some who have already served their time.
If you were stopped as a young kid and had what they called a joint and you were arrested and you have a criminal record from that and everything else indicates you're a good kid, I think they should be expunged.
It seems that a bill to institute a carbon tax could be put off.
Very premature. We don't even have a plan how we're going to transform the economy, but we're already planning to tax people to do so. So, I'm glad that one's probably going to wait until next year.
It's important to keep in mind that even with just a few session days left here at the state capitol, anything can be subject to change. For lawmakers on both sides of the aisle, getting bills passed that directly benefit their districts is also a priority. In Albany, Karina Capabianca.
Karina, thank you. Coming up, the latest in an arson case levied against a Jamestown man. And later, we're live at the Chautauqua County Humane Society for our Pet of the Week segment. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues on this Friday afternoon.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
Honest John's has what you're looking for. When you want it good, we're gonna give you lots more.
From freshly made subs to the best of pizza and wings, Honest John's has what you're looking for. And now 2 great locations, East 2nd Street and Fairmount Avenue. Order takeout or delivery today online at honestjohns.pizza.
You're gonna get it good at Honest John's.
Have the best summer ever with endless adventures at Girl Scout Summer Camp. Financial aid available, open to all girls. For more information, call or go to gswny.org.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
A 50-year-old Jamestown man accused of setting an occupied home ablaze last year has pled guilty in the case. The Chautauqua County District Attorney's Office says Eric Goodloe pled guilty yesterday to third-degree arson. In September 2020, Jamestown police say Goodloe intentionally threw 2 incendiary devices onto the porch of 514 Monroe Street. The porch of the residence sustained damage as a result of the blaze, and luckily no one was hurt. The DA's office says Goodloe, who will face sentencing in August, could spend a minimum of 4 years in state prison. Well, America's job market picked up some steam in May. Today, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that 500,000 jobs were added back last month. That's significantly lower than economics predicted, but the unemployment rate still fell to 5.8%. The labor market is now in a unique logjam as millions of Americans are without jobs. At the same time, businesses are facing a massive worker shortage. Some critics blame the federal unemployment benefits, which have helped people stay home during the pandemic. Some states are moving to end those. Whether that would spur a jump in job applicants still remains to be seen. Well, a critical week for President Biden's plan to fix America's infrastructure, but Republicans are pushing back on the $1.7 trillion price tag. And now sources say Biden may be willing to bring that number down. Nadia Romero with more on how Biden and Republicans plan to sit down to negotiate that bill today.
Both Republicans and Democrats agree. America's infrastructure in need of repair.
I'm hoping for the best, that we can actually reach a bipartisan agreement.
There's movement on a potential bill, but there's a big dispute over the price tag. On Wednesday, the country's top Democrat, the president, and the top Republican negotiator, Senator Shelley Moore Capito of West Virginia, had a one-on-one sit-down negotiating the terms of Biden's infrastructure plan. But major differences continue to create roadblocks to bipartisanship.
The president has put forward his vision of how to pay for it, and they need to come back and tell us their vision for how to pay for it. I hope we can all agree that deficit spending isn't the option.
Republicans want to limit new spending to just $257 billion and instead use unspent coronavirus relief money to pay for infrastructure.
Repurpose some of this extraordinary amount of money that's gone out to state and local governments across the country to plug the gap between what the gas tax raises and what we would like to do on infrastructure.
One source says Biden offered to bring his price tag down to $1 trillion, but only if it's new money. Friday, the president and Senator Moore Capito scheduled to negotiate again.
We're definitely not there yet. I would say there is a gap, and so that's our job, to try to find where the common ground is.
In Washington, I'm Nadia Romero.
Nadia, thank you. We'll likely get a better idea today on whether there's any hope left for a compromise, with the source saying that when Republican senators are considering presenting the White House with a new counteroffer. Well, the Jamestown Public School System will be offering expanded summer learning programs for students this summer. The district is aiming to offset disruptions to the learning process endured over the last year by offering those entering 1st through 9th grades extra classes. Specifically, 3 programs: JPS LEAP, designed for students entering 1st grade through 6th, JPS JUMP for those in 7th or 8th grades, and JHS Bridge for those entering high school. Parents interested in signing up their children for a summer program are asked to contact the principal at their child's specific school. Now, the programs are free, however, space is limited, so you're asked to contact them quickly in order to get your kids signed up. Certainly, we did see a lot of that disruption last year. We thank you for joining us for WNY News Now as we look to the future, maybe of getting back on track where things could be. We appreciate you tuning in. Good to see Patrick, Ashley, Carol, and Willie as well. Hopefully you all are having a great day out there. And the weather today doesn't look too bad. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter joining us with more on our forecast. And Dakota, really, it looks like over the next, 7 days, we're really going to be feeling the heat out there.
Yes, we are. I mean, summer is coming in. I mean, June is the month when you start thinking about summer. And of course, the meteorological start of summer was on June 1st. And it's going to be feeling like it as we go throughout the weekend. Wanted to take a look at these viewer pictures that came in of the rainbow last night. I mean, this was incredible. I mean, I want to thank all of you who sent in pictures of the rainbow. We had literally a gazillion of these that came in on social media, and unfortunately we can't show all of them, so we had to pick through a lot of these. And man, that rainbow last night was just beautiful. How about this from Melinda, and this one from Constance? You can see that rainbow. I believe this was in Randolph, somewhere near Randolph. And how about Foot Avenue? This was the plaza on Foot Avenue, that nice rainbow there over Northwest Bank. And how about downtown Jamestown, the rainbow right there? And I hope that they're stopping and not going to run this yellow light. I hope.
Dakota,
but anyway,
end of that, real quick.
Yes.
The end of that, it looks like it goes right to your house. You live on that hill.
Yes.
Did you see any gold?
I will admit, I fell asleep last night, so I didn't get a chance to see this.
At like 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes, because I'm a very old, tired weatherman. All right. On social media, this was a comment that we had on our post asking for viewer pictures. Bob Stewart said, "Happy Pride Month, Jamestown." And I got to agree with that. That's Mother Nature's way of saying Happy Pride Month. And something we talked about yesterday, 26 days going all the way back to 1926. We had a high temperature in 95 or above, but it's even harder to hit 100 here. We only hit it once in 1936. And again, the 1930s, the whole decade of the 30s was extremely warm across the globe. A lot of records were broken, and there was a lot of warming that went on back in the 20s and the 30s. Got some sunshine downtown right now. We're at 72 right now with a west wind of 13, and there's a dew point of 61. So when the dew point starts to reach up in the 60s, that's when you start to feel the mugginess in the air. But we've got even more of it and more warm air to go here. This is the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook. And when you start seeing the reds and the oranges, that favors above average temperature. So if you like the summer heat, it's going to stick around. And at least over the next 5 days, the muggy meter, look at where it's going here. And you'll see we'll go into the muggy category for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. There is some discrepancy maybe in midweek. We might get to this oppressive level. That's when you start getting dew points in the 70s, and that's the air you can wear. We'll see on that as we go throughout the week. But high pressure building in now. This is going to become the main controlling weather factor for us over the weekend, and that means dry weather. And you'll see here on Future Scan, this particular model doesn't really show a whole lot in terms of rain coverage, but there will be a couple spotty showers popping up through the afternoon today. A great day coming up tomorrow, partly to mostly sunny, but it becomes warmer and more humid, so keep that in mind. Now tomorrow, we do have a Memorial Golf Tournament in Randolph tomorrow. The tee time's at noon at the Cardinal Hills Golf Course. It's looking great with lots of sunshine, a bit breezy, but it will be muggy. How about the future? Here it is for you. 84 tomorrow, 86 on Sunday. It turns hot. Blazing sun on Monday, upper 80s. And then with the high amounts of humidity, we will introduce a chance for scattered afternoon showers and storms through Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll take a break and be right back.
With coverage that matters. This is WNY News Now.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear, because for years he's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But there's a lot more to say. Like, if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor.
Testicular cancer is the leading form of cancer in men aged 15 to 35.
1 in 250 men will be diagnosed with testicular cancer.
But 98% will survive if detected early.
As a survivor, I believe early detection is the key. Learn how to do a testicular self-exam and other important facts about testicular cancer at oneball4tc.com.
You're watching WNY News Now. your source for breaking news.
Welcome back to WNY News Now. In an effort to help our furry friends find a forever home, we're partnering with the Chautauqua County Humane Society and my favorite segment is the Pet of the Week. Joining us live is Amanda Sublett to talk more about this week's featured furry friend. And I see we're checking out a feline today, Amanda.
Yes, this is Rosemary. Yeah, there you go. She is about 3 years old. She's an absolute sweetheart. She loves people. She loves attention. She would prefer to be the only pet in the home, though. She does get a little bit overstimulated and frustrated being around others. I get that. She found herself a chipmunk. She would actually do really well indoor or outdoor in that type of situation. She loves being outside. She's incredibly playful. I think the little children are going to overwhelm her a little bit, so if they're older, that would be best, but she will do well with them.
Absolutely. And yeah, it looks like she definitely could sit in front of that window all day and seems to be enjoying herself right now. So you mentioned that she maybe isn't a good fit for a household with a lot of pets. Somebody who maybe is looking to, a younger person looking to get into having an animal, whether it be a cat or a dog, they don't have a preference. You think she would be a good kind of transition for them to adopt and, you know, make sure they have a quiet environment, a nice house to live in?
Absolutely, and she's going to be a great first-time pet because she's so easygoing. It's just a matter of making sure she's that only one.
Yeah, absolutely. And she reminds me a lot of my parents' cat, Mittens, actually, because this is what she does all day, is she sits in front of the window and she does not want to move from the window because that is her spot. As for you having an outdoor cat, I know that's a big thing for a lot of people, is you sort of have to weigh that option a little bit, because some cats have that urge where they really want to go outside. It's difficult to keep them in. For you, what is your recommendation on that? And how should somebody go about, you know, okay, we'll let the cat outside, but we want them to stay safe as well?
Absolutely. As with anything, it starts with training. She's not going to know to come back or where her new home is if she doesn't have that training, that background, or the attachment to the new home. So it's a little bit of a process. You need to give it a lot of time and go slowly with her, but work your way up to it, and then she'll be very happy. Or some people have like an enclosed patio that would be perfect. She would love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I've seen some people actually walk their cats with like a leash and a collar. Is that something too?
It is, but again, that takes training because not every cat's going to appreciate having a harness on. So little by little, if you work with her, she's going to learn, and then you guys can go for walks.
Yeah, absolutely. And almost maybe, you know, they could start that probably, I imagine, inside, right? And in kind of
Absolutely.
getting her just used
You want to keep her safe and start inside for all that training.
Yeah. So certainly our friend Rosemary here, if you want to learn more about her, it looks like she's ready for adventure right now. I mean, that chipmunk, he's lucky there's glass there. I'm telling you. To learn more about Rosemary or any other residents of the shelter, you can simply contact the Chautauqua County Humane Society at 716-665-2209 or visit them at chqhumane.org. They have a great website set up with a lot of information about furry friends like Rosemary or others who are available for adoption right now. So Amanda, Brian, thank you so much for hopping on the broadcast today and for introducing us to another great addition to somebody's home, hopefully.
Thank you.
So yeah, I looking at that, Dakota, like that chipmunk, he's got some cojones, you know? I mean,
She said, my comment that I posted, I said she's scouting out lunch.
Yeah, for real. I mean, he's a lucky chippy.
And actually, you know, speaking about a leash, I believe many years ago we had tried using a leash on our cat when, when she was alive, and she would just like pull you along.
Right.
So we realized that didn't work. So we just let her outside, let her roam around. She'd come back a few hours later, meow at the door, want back in,
right.
eat, go back out.
And like Amanda said, I think it all does come back to training. I mean, we listen to the experts on this program, and if you can structure it well enough for a cat or a friend like Rosemary here, you really can have a lifelong friend and pet, and B, as well. She's not dumb. She knows where the food is, and through time, I think that will develop. So that's incredible as always. Well, that's going to do it for us today. We'll leave you with this live look over Chautauqua Lake. We could honestly stay on the cat all day, but we are back here on Monday. Hope you have a great day.